Hi, welcome back to the channel. So before I begin today's video, I want to thank you guys for still being here. I know my 2023 update progress has been a little slow. Those of you who are regulars on this channel, you may notice I've only put out maybe 5 or 6 videos this whole entire year. It's really because I've been trying to concentrate on my novels, because I've been way behind on those. And, you know, I'm a writer first. And so, you know, the books will come before the videos and all the other things. But I do want to thank you guys who are here for product updates and reviews, that you are still here watching this video. And I also like to say, those of you who are here for my books, I thank you, because I am going to try to do more videos on what I'm actually working on, because that is sort of what this channel is for. It's not so much a product review site, but it's just a place for me to, show all that I'm working on for those interested. And I don't mean like, vanity stuff, but anything that I feel like you guys might enjoy, whether through productivity or entertainment or whatnot. So again, thank you for still sticking around. The other thing I wanted to say is another reason why I've been kind of slacking on video production lately is I quite frankly got tired of listening to my own voice. And the reason is because you may have noticed from past videos that there is a lot of hollow sounding crackles and pops that's coming through my microphone. It picks up traffic. I have to turn off and fan in my AC in order to keep the room quiet, and it turns it very hot, and it still doesn't do a good enough job making my voice sound right. So I've been kind of not wanting to do videos because of that, and that was especially true of the last important one I did about my paperweight video log, which is about the book I'm writing, where I got to the point where even I'm listening to it, I'm just thinking no one's going to want to finish this because the sound quality is just I think the fan on my computer was so loud at that point. It was just, I don't know how to keep up. So fortunately, I found a new software that would dampen my surroundings a bit so that my voice is more focused. And so I want to just quickly mention that. It's called Crystal Sound. It's this right here. And I got it off of AppSumo. I believe AppSumo still has it if you want to look into it. But if you look at my old videos and then you look at this one, and if you notice the sound quality difference, and if you like it, you may want to look into it. I think it was only $40. It's pretty good. And then of course you can use it for Zoom and all of that. And there's also a place for post-processing sound. If you already have a video that you don't like, you can extract the sound and then run it through here and fix it. I probably will be doing that for my video log, because I would like to get back to that, because I do think it's important to share that with you guys. That may mean recutting the video and archiving what's currently online. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You got something like here for that. But I do want to mention that I am doing my best to get better quality equipment going into these videos. And I also got a new phone that's hopefully going to look nice. So I might be able to retire the webcam. Anyway, that's for the future. Let's talk about NaNoWriMo. So as of this recording, it is mid-September. We are about 6 weeks away from NaNoWriMo 2023. And if you're wondering why I'm giving this video now, it's because I have new features in the 2023 update for basic NaNoWriMo template that might help you get set up for the November event. And so if you are familiar with the basic template, you should already know how this all works. For those of you who are unfamiliar, I'll go through a quick overview. But primarily, I want to show you guys what's new for those of you who are returning champions of the NaNoWriMo Basic Template. So let's take a look. And again, if you are brand new to this, I have all the information on this front page called How to Use This Template. Just go through it quickly so you can see what all the stuff you can do with this is and why it's important. The other thing I want to mention, if you're unfamiliar with this template, the purpose of the basic NaNoWriMo template for Scrivener, and so we're clear, I'm using Scrivener 3. It's to just make it easier for you to keep track of your word count and to stay accountable to writing your novel in November, or if you choose to do Camp NaNoWriMo, April and July. So it also does very easy project tracking for you if you use these analytic tools up here, or you can see how your current status is. If you use the target board up here, you can set your targets for the global. And of course, the other thing is if you go down into the little target box down in this corner, we'll do a quick example of the day by day. You can set what you want your target to be. So, you can change your word count here if you would like, and just modify. But you have to click this little bar down here in the bottom right to use it. And of course, if you need to split your content with any of your prep work over here, you can just click on the split graph here, and then let's say if I want to do my quick and dirty overview, I can have that on one side and then my content on the other. So that's a basic way of this, how this particular template works. If you are new, for those of you who are not, let's go ahead and take a look at what the new stuff is. So once again, what is NaNoWriMo? It's what we do in November when we need to fight procrastination and actually get something done. If you were here for the 2022 update, you'll remember the book ideas generator. I'm not really promoting that anymore, but it's still around if you want to use it. Hardly anyone does, so it'd be nice if you were the first. Maybe we get something going with that, but it's still there for you if you want to use it. And then, of course, from 2022, I added the ideas bank that you can use in order to quickly retrieve ideas that you may have for future works if you decide that this is the year you're going to do this thing. Okay. So the quick and dirty story reminders, this is where you're going to put the quick overview of your particular story you're working on. For this particular edition, the 2023 edition, I've added this new parameter called new or continued story. What you'll do is we'll just add, whether it's new or continued. And this continued part's important because of our new edition that I'll talk about in a minute. I also added this one for location notes. If you need to do a quick mention of the particular places you want to focus on, let's say in Paperweight, for example, I'm focusing the first half in the jungles of Guatemala. I would write that in my location notes, that's where this first half takes place. The rest of it's in an office building in Dallas. So I would want that to be my reminder of not only where I want this to be set, but also remind me what the tone of my story is. It's got a bit of a green and gray contrast. It's kind of hilarious, kind of adventurous, and all that. So then we have our new official first section called, in this case, it's the before NaNoWriMo, and it's also related to the section down over here called existing sections, which you can see here. The before NaNoWriMo is very similar to our after NaNoWriMo, which I have had in here since I think 2020 or maybe even 2019. The before NaNoWriMo is a place where you can talk about a story you've already started, and in a way to get you caught up with the current momentum of the story, so that if you would like to use NaNoWriMo as your excuse to finish a work in progress instead of starting one, you can now have a place to record your previous files or your previous story content. And so you'll use this page the same way you use the after, where you'll summarize everything that's happened in the story to the point where you're beginning day one of NaNoWriMo. And then you can talk about what you want to accomplish during the month of NaNoWriMo. Okay. And again, this works for both the November event and the Camp NaNoWriMos in April and July, where if you just want to use this for an off month like October or June, whatever, you can do that too. I can't tell you how to use your resources. If you want to use NaNoWriMo for any work and limit yourself to a month, you can do that too. But anyway, that's what this is for. It's a way to center your mindset on the content at hand, so that if you want to pick up an old work, you can. And so that brings me to over here the existing sections. You'll notice I have a card for scene 1, and it's blank. That's because it's up to you to fill it. If you have a pre-existing story, maybe you wrote for 2022 that you want to continue in 2023, you can just import your scenes from that particular book, and of course you'll add a new card. So like down here, you'll add a plus for every new card you want. We'll say scene 2 and enter, and then we now have more than one scene. I've left it open to you to decide what you actually need for this particular template, because I can't predict what you haven't had. I mean, I'm assuming you have at least one scene, but I don't know that. So that's for you to decide. But yeah, that's the existing sections. You can change it to chapters if you want. The whole purpose is it's a separate place outside of your draft. You'll notice that the draft section's down here. It's separate from your existing draft so that you can put all the content you want without affecting your project word count. So let me show you. If I were to say, see if I can actually type. All right, this is my story. I will not stick to it because that would be a cliche. Okay, you'll notice that if I go into my project settings here, it will record what I've done for this document, I believe, right here for the selected document. But if I go into my project file, it has not affected my project file one bit. I still have 3 words, and that's because I have a placeholder for day 1. So you can write all you want in here, and it will not affect your progress. So this is a good idea for those of you who really just want to get finished. Now, the other thing that's cool is if once you're done with the month, and if you want to go ahead and add all your previous content into the total word count, then all you got to do is go into the folder, use the arrows, and bear in mind if you are installing Scrivener 3 or even the old Scrivener for the first time, you may not necessarily have these arrows available. You would have to bring them in through View and Customize Toolbars, and then you would add them all here through the keys. Okay, but assuming you've done all that, what you might want to do is first go inside so that you make it a child, and then you can go, let's see, actually, no, I think you go down first, and then go inside, so that's part of Malabede, and then you can go up if you want into the draft. And if I go back into my project file, you'll see that now I'm at 19 words instead of 3. So that's one way you can move things around in order to be able to add up all of your particular words for your project. Now, of course, I don't want to do that because this is the template and not a fresh document. So I don't want to mess up my own content here. So we'll be deleting all of this. I probably seem to be available. Let's see if I can do it. I'll move trash for now. Okay. But yeah, that's the existing sections. And so again, if I go to before NaNoWriMo and then go into the existing, I can update my project accordingly. And then for the tracking elements, this again is the area where you have your journal. Most of you who are familiar with this template will know that you can just set your year, set your month. It says 20 because I don't think most of us will be around in 2100, unfortunately. Sorry to be the bearer of reality there, but probably going to be 20 for a while. But what we do have here is the journal section where you can write whatever your progress is for that day, what your word count should have been, what you wanted it to be, what you actually pulled off. And then the total word count is just your project word count for the month so far. You can fill this out if you want to. I have it there as a way to just see how close I'm getting to 50,000. Don't forget to, if you input your words into the NaNoWriMo website, then it's going to track all that for you. The thing I added new is the current state. So what this is because now you have, there's another section that I've added. Actually, I'm going to get to that in a minute. If you find that your writing is going off the rails, like maybe it started off the first few days were going really well, but then by day 7, you are noticing that your character is in a place he shouldn't be. The story is starting to fall apart, and you think, okay, well, now I'm lost. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. What you would do for the current state is just list that, current state is off the rails. Current state is, on target. Whatever it is, it's a quick way for you to see kind of from a bird's eye view how your story is going and whether or not you need to do any course correction. Which again, I will mention in just 1 minute. But this is where you would log your state of being here with your work. The other thing I added is I added a 31st day. And notice it's over here in the day by day also. Because as of 2022, I'd forgotten that Can't NaNoWriMo included July. And of course, when you're not thinking that far ahead, you also forget that there's 31 days in July. I added the 31 days in case you want to use this for July, or if you want to use this for a separate project not related to NaNoWriMo. If this does not apply to you, if you're using the November event, you can just delete this entry here. Same thing with this down here. You can just send it to the trash. But I wanted to make it readily available for you in case you do decide to use the July edition. Okay, but that's the journal for tracking. Again, this is just for you to keep tabs on your work if you need to do that. After NaNoWriMo, nothing's new. If you were here for 2022 or any of the earlier ones, that's still the same. So, novel by day, we've already talked about that. There's a 31st day available now if you need it. If you don't, just delete it. For those of you who are new, you will see that I have some placeholder text just right over it. Remember, too, that you'll need to set your font and your size with every day or every project. If you download this before the NaNoWriMo event, you can probably go ahead and just set those ahead of time so you can go right into the work when it's ready. I assume it'll work if you get your cursor in a particular place where you can change the font, but I haven't always gotten it to work, so you may still have to do some adjustments on the fly. I'm not sure, but I can't control that. That's, just Scrivener. Anyway, so the other feature that I added, like we have the continuing here. By the way, if you're new, there is this place where you can continue your story after NaNoWriMo. So I did give an official card with a title this time around, just to remind you what it's for. But again, you can relabel that however you want. If you want to do things by scenes, you can do that. I know in one of my older versions, I just continued, I think, on to scene 27. But the new thing that is important for this edition is the draft correction section. So this is important. This goes back to what I was saying about the status up here with the current state. The thing with draft corrections is if you are working NaNoWriMo, ideally what you're going to do is just continue to forge ahead until it's over. The problem is if you are writing a story that is not going very well, by day 15, you may be in a spiral that's just going to blow up in your face by day 30. You don't want a project that you're going to end up scrapping because it just didn't work. You want to try to fix it as early as you can, and sometimes you may decide to fix it during the NaNoWriMo event. However, what you don't want to necessarily do is, screw up your word counts, especially if you've already logged them into the NaNoWriMo webpage, because unfortunately, I don't think you can go back and adjust, or at least they don't make it easy or intuitive. If you can do that, this is code for saying I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I might just be stupid. But anyway, I wanted to make sure that, you and I have an opportunity to fix a story that's going off the rails at the moment that it needs to be fixed, and not have to wait until the event is over, and not have to change project documents in order to do that. So what the draft correction section's for is a place to duplicate a day's worth of work, move it into this new section that's not part of the count, and then you can make all the edits and fixes that you need to in order to get things right. And it will not screw up your word count. Your word count will still remain on the same path as you've had it, as long as you keep your fresh work in this section and all your corrected work down here. Okay? So it's a new way to stay on top of your project and be in full control of all your work and not feel like you have to go on this mad dash to the finish line and with your eyes blocked. You can totally course correct and still have your word counts pure with this new edition. So I thought that was important. And then next is the research section. In previous editions, this has been blank. Until this year, I just had no reason to really add a research section because, again, this is the basic NaNoWriMo template and not the advanced NaNoWriMo. And it's still basic, but I figured even the basic really does need a place where you can store your research because, you're not going to go in completely blind on your NaNoWriMo. I know we're rushing to the end, but we're not going to rush to the end with a bunch of false stuff. We want some truth in this. So I've added some documents for you to use in your research if you need to. So there's an important note section where you can just write where your note is, and then if you need a source, you can do that. All you got to do is if you need more, just run over, copy, paste, and then you start a fresh place to write. Remember that the templates are only templates as long as they remain template. The moment you write over them, they're no longer templates, and then you have to do some adjustments. So I would advise you to copy and paste the template before you start writing on it. Down here next we have important web pages. So if you have a web page that you want to revisit, you can write down what the name of the page is here in this box, what the website's URL is here, and then describe what the page is here. I do this very similarly for my own web pages that I like to save, but I don't do it in Scrivener. I have a database that I use, but this is a place where you can have your own private database right here in your project file. You may want to format the boxes inside if you want it centered. It's up to you. But this is a place where you can add all your content and pick references. If you need to add more cells, I think you can do that through the table. You go and insert and add to the table there. You may also be able to, you can add above or below. You need more spaces. And again, this is very similar to what we have in our planning stage up here for the ideas. Okay, next is a new one for important images. So you'll notice that I have sections for pre-created from, like, if you go to get stock images off of Shutterstock or any of those. And there's also one for AI generation. If you decide that you want to use Midjourney or Stable Diffusion to get your images, you can tell us which, or you can tell yourself which prompt you use, which negative prompt. If you're not sure what the prompts and negative prompts mean, the prompt is the description you give the engine to tell it what you want to see. The negative prompt is there to tell the engine what you don't want to see. Typically, if you go through like Midjourney or any of the public-facing Stable Diffusion sites, you'll see examples of prompts and negative prompts in action. Model and seed, again, this is just engine stuff. It's if you know anything about AI generation, you should know what this stuff is. So if you don't know anything about AI generation, then my explanation of this probably isn't going to make a difference to you anyway. You really got to just go look at the web pages and see for yourself what they are and play around with the engines a bit. They're pretty fun. But if you are a classic gatherer of stock photos, where you go to Shutterstock or one of the free ones like Pixabay, this is a place where you can write down a name for the photo you're using, who created it, where you found it, was it Pixabay or Pexels, and then of course was it an AI generated image or not. If it was AI generated, then you would use Creator as the engine, whether it's Stable Diffusion, like Leonardo AI, Midjourney. Distributor, you probably leave blank. Title be whatever you want to call it. And then down here, of course, you can paste the image. Okay. And then you also want a place to tell yourself who it's for or where it's supposed to be. So you would list all that here. But anyway, there's a place now where you can keep track of your images and your metadata for your images. And then because we're in 2023 and everything is revolving around AI, there's now a section 2 where you can post your AI chat conversations with ChatGPT or Claude or whatever else you're using. And then, of course, if you know that your engine hallucinated, you can write down what you need to fix here down in the correction section. And of course, you can use your sources to verify where your corrections came from. But once again, it's pretty explanatory. Just, write down which chatbot you're using, which version you're using. Is it GPT 3.5? Is it 4? Are you one of the lucky ones to use 5, even though it doesn't exist as of this recording? Go ahead and write it down there. Okay. Then the other generative content might be articles that you generate through something like Jasper, if you're familiar with that. This is where some copywriters might use an outlining tool in order to get their ideas. Maybe you just want to generate copy for your social media. This is the place where you would list all of that. And so again, just follow the prompts and it should all be pretty obvious to you. But that's also brand new to 2023. Social media section is pretty much what it was last year. The only thing that's different is that I formatted the selections a little bit, or not a little bit. I mean, there's only one way to format. I made it so that you can easily see what your sections are for when you plan out your social media. Okay, but other than that, there's not really anything new. One exception with YouTube, I've added shorts as your one of your selections. So you can select whether it's a video, a short, or a community post. Whereas before, it was just a video and community post. And then, of course, I'm still not on TikTok. I don't plan to ever go on TikTok. So if you want to use this for TikTok, you'll have to format the section to, focus on whatever TikTok's about. Okay, and then finally, we have the For the Win section. This is a brand new section to 2023. Let's be honest, we are participating in NaNoWriMo because we want to win. We want to hit our 50,000 word mark. But previous editions of this particular template did not give us a place to mention that we won. It didn't, I mean, we could see in our journal that we crossed 50,000, but there was like no real fanfare place. So I decided to give you a place to display your banners for your winning year. And of course, you can update this section up here with your actual word count. So I had one year, I think I hit 62,000 words, so I would write that here. I think nice and legal, 62,000, if I recall. You can write your average. You can write down your best day ever. Like, did you have a day where you wrote 10,000 words? You can write that here. Did you have a day where you only wrote 10 words? You can put that here. And of course, you can mention which word count those were. And of course, post your image of your banners down here. And finally, there's the gifts. If you do happen to win NaNoWriMo, you will get solicited with a bunch of coupons and offers from publishing companies, not like the good ones, but the ones that cater to indies. You might get like coupons for book funnels or Ingram Spark, just discounts or special offers for free one-time use or whatever it may be. This is a place where you'll list what the prize is, who's providing it, how to find it on the internet, what the code is if it comes to the code, when it expires, because they all expire usually in March, and then what the actual service is and whether or not you want to use it. So that's what this is for. And then templates is still empty. I don't even know what to put in this because the whole thing's a template. So that's the basic NaNoWriMo template for 2023, and that's all the new stuff. If you are, again, new to this document, I hope you are inspired to join NaNoWriMo this year and to use this template to help you finish your story. And again, just be sure you read the how to use section before you really break into it. Although you probably don't need to now that you watch this video, but it doesn't hurt to still play catch up to make sure that you are on par with things. I do have a new disclaimer section. I added it last year, but I didn't add it before the last year's video. So this was something that I had written in after the last video was recorded. So this is just to remind you how to not only use this project, but to just inform you what your rights are to use it. Typically the SAS apps, whatever, include this kind of thing. I don't know that I really need to have this for a Scrivener template, but I mean, it's there if you feel like you need to have some kind of record of what this is all about. So where can you get this? So I will put a link in the description, but you're going to get this from my resource page on Beacon. So if you go over here, this is what my resource page looks like. You'll see my old Kindle book tracker is still in beta 4B after a year because I'm freaking slow. I do hope to do 5 at some point, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think anyone's really using this one, so I haven't been in a hurry to do beta 5. But this is where you'll get the 2023 edition of the Scrivener file. You'll notice that right now I've only got the Scrivener 3 edition. Usually I'll do one for 3 and for one for the old Scrivener 1. I haven't done that yet because I'm actually on my new computer. Scrivener 1's on my old computer. It's on the one that's got Windows 7. And I will probably do a port for that one. If you come to this page and see one for just for regular Scrivener, it would look like this, except it'll say 2023 edition. If you see that and you're not on Scrivener 3 yet, go ahead and download that one. But I don't want to promise you that it will be there because I really am trying to get fully migrated into this new computer, which means that this will be the last year that I do a template for Scrivener 1. So do bear that in mind. If you don't yet have Scrivener 3 or whatever, you might be on 4 by the time the next one comes out. You really should upgrade if you can, because moving forward, I'm only going to be using Scrivener 3 for my templates. So just bear that in mind. But I will try to get a Scrivener 1 edition for those of you who are holdouts like I normally am. because you may notice in my previous videos, I really am a loyalist to Windows 7, even though nothing supports it anymore, which is a shame. Anyway, but this is where you'll go to get it. So how do you use it? All you got to do is click it. It'll take you to this page here. Just click on the Get Resource, and it'll download it for you. I've turned off email opt-in, so you don't have to worry about subscribing to anything to get it. It's just, but it's there for you if you want to take it. If you want to say anything about it, I do have a place where you can give me feedback. Don't forget to check out my other resources here. You don't really need this anymore. There's enough out there now that you can, there's better ways to get prompted. So I'm probably going to retire this AI prompt tool at some point soon. There's one called, is it Gconvert, I think it's called. It's like an actual service that gives you really detailed prompts on really basic feedback. You may as well just use that. But the other one, Story Planning General, I have not touched this thing in about 3 years. There will be an Alpha 3 at some point. The problem is I don't know how to document it because I don't know where I stopped with Alpha 2. Because I do have some Alpha 3 content available, and I don't remember what's what anymore. So there may not be a change log for that one, but I will put out Alpha 3 at some point. I hope soon. It has not been a popular download, so that's the other reason why I haven't prioritized it. I'm really only focusing on the ones that people want, and Scrivener or the basic NaNoWriMo Basic Template is my most downloaded tool, so that's why I keep up with that one. So that's the really the secret here is if you want tools, then you need to download stuff. So anyway, the last thing I want to show you is my roadmap tool, and it's not my YouTube channel. Let me go find it real quick. If you go into, let me show you, go back to this, go to the file. If you go down to, let's see, the project page, if you click on the project page, it's going to take you to this roadmap tool. And if you're on the roadmap tool, let me just open up a new window. This is a place where you can see what's coming or what you can vote on. Right now, you'll notice that I've added all this new stuff to the page. And of course, if you go to updates, I did update this a little while ago with a new article, so you can feel free to read that. But the most important thing here is if you want to tell me what you want new, you'll need to go to the ideas section and then add a new submission. Tell me about it and then submit it. And then it'll go over into this page here. And then if you see an idea that you like, that you want to support, upvote it. And then, of course, you can comment on it also. It's a pretty interactive tool. It's a great way to keep me informed on what you want. So I do hope you'll use it. And again, there's always a summary here if you need to refresh your memory on what things are. I don't know why I have broken images. That's the first I'm seeing that. So hopefully it's just a glitch. I should probably look into that, shouldn't I? But anyway, this is the roadmap. And just to remind you guys, I have other roadmaps for other projects if you do want to keep up with all that I'm doing. I've got roadmaps for the book ideas generator. This is where you'll actually, this is the generator, is you tell me what you want. You don't need to vote on share your ideas because I know the whole purpose is in the ideas, not the fact that you want people to share it. I've got a place for my books in progress. I don't really keep up with this one. It's more important you go to the individual books so you can see what I'm working on here. Again, if you're interested in my books, I know you're not really here to see that, but I hope you are interested because that's where all my energy is going. So I just want to give you all that to refer back to, but anyway, this is the, again, NaNoWriMo Basic Template 2023 edition. I will probably do a 2024 edition if I can think of new things to add, but I will be honest, I'm running out of ideas. And Scrivener, unfortunately, is primarily like a block-based resource. There's like no graphs or anything. Like all the stuff I really want to add, like graph charting and all that, I really can't use Scrivener for that. So unless they add it into a future version, I really am running low on things to add to this template. So if you can think of something that you want, please go to that project page, submit your idea, tell me what you want, and I will happily add it to the list of things to consider, unless it's something ridiculous that Scrivener cannot ever do. If not, I don't know. We may have a version complete with this one. We'll see. But anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Hope that you found something interesting about this. I do hope that you guys like my sound quality now. Leave a comment below if you have anything to say about that. I hope it's not too tinny. But at least you're not hearing my fan and my computer fans or my traffic outside. So that's good. New things, right? All right. That's it for today. Have a good one, and we'll see you for the next video. Take care. Bye.